Hey, this is Ish, and today I want to talk to you about how you can find your life's purpose. So, there are a couple of different factors I'm going to go into. So, the first is to find your unfair advantages, so things that you're naturally just very good at. So, I believe that everyone has certain proclivities and advantages that they were just naturally born with, and then also due to their environment as well. So, just a mixture of both, where there are certain fields where they're naturally do better at. So to give you an example, if you think about the bodybuilder Jay Cutler, he is like a four-time Mr. Olympia winner. He's very good in what he does. When he first walked into a gym at the age of 18, he had never trained before, but he went on the bench press and ended up bench pressing 350 pounds on his first time. And he had never lifted before, and that was his strength, was his natural proclivity. And he ended up, winning a lot of bodybuilding tournaments once he put in the training. And for me, for example, yoga is one of my fields that I did pretty well in just naturally. So within 8 months of me practicing yoga, from never done any kind of flexibility work before to starting doing the poses, within 8 months, I was able to get into poses that my teachers who were teaching me weren't able to do. And they had more than 15 years of experience on me, and I was able to get into all these poses within under a year. So that was my natural advantage, was my natural flexibility and my anatomy and kind of my limbs and all that. So that was my gift. And other people have different personality types and things that will be better suited for different tasks. So if you're just naturally very social, you're like the most social person in the room. Teachers couldn't shut you up in school. You might excel in fields like sales, for example, or events and different things like that. So you want to find out what you're just naturally very good at, and people have said, "Wow, you're actually pretty good at this," when you're first starting out doing something, and then pursuing that and actually going forward. So that's one way. Now, the second thing is actually the opposite. So, finding out places where you originally had a disadvantage, but you had to work through a certain struggle or journey in order to come out on top and then share your gifts and what you've learned. So, this is different from the first. An example of this would be someone who started off really overweight and unhealthy and then discovered the benefits of going to the gym and working out and eventually became a personal trainer and then was able to share what they learned with other people. So this would be one example. Another would be, a person who got bullied in school, was really shy and meek, and ended up learning martial arts and became a fighter. So that's another example. So they were taking their initial disadvantages and actually transformed them into advantages through a period of hard work. And what this also does is that it makes you more relatable to your audience because you've come from where they were at initially, and then you've taken on a journey and come out on top, and you're now able to share that with other people and also address certain pain points and how you can help specifically because you've gone through that journey. So this is also, another method, and it also allows a bigger context of understanding because through the difficulty you learn more lessons and more subtleties that you weren't if you just naturally, if things just came easy to you, because you have a deeper context of the understanding. And this was certainly me with meditation. And I know when I first started out meditating, I wasn't that good at it. My mind was just going all over the place. And there were a lot more people that my friends who started meditating with me, they were just naturally very good at. And they were just naturally just calm people. That's just how they were. And for me, it was very hard for me to stay centered in my emotions. But because I've kind of gone through that journey, I'm able to talk about a lot of different topics that I don't think my friends would be able to, just because I've had that period of meeting challenges and understanding the deeper meaning behind it. And then the next way to discover your passion and your purpose in life is to go through a period of exploration. So if you're not really sure, you can try out different things that you think you might like just to see whether that's actually for you. So I believe that there's different layers of things that you'll naturally just enjoy. But once you go deeper and deeper, you'll find the core of your purpose. So you might have to go through a period of exploration. So Vincent van Gogh, for example, the 19th century painter, is like really famous for painting, right? But he had originally tried out different things and even wanted to be a Christian pastor at one point because he was just so into religion. But he ended up trying that out, didn't work out for him. Then he ended up going to painting. For me, I really liked art growing up. Thought I wanted to be a tattoo artist, and then I just figured out that wasn't really for me, and I went more into yoga and meditation and went down that route. So for you, there are different paths you can take on just by experimenting, see whether you like this, just put your foot in, test something out. And if you like it, continue with that. And if you don't feel a deeper satisfaction when doing the task, then it's maybe a sign that you need to move on to something that fulfills you on a deeper level. So for example, when I was drawing, even though I liked art a lot, I wasn't getting that spark or the deep satisfaction that I was getting. Just like when I teach a yoga class, I get that spark a lot. But when I was drawing, it just wasn't for me. I wasn't feeling that deeper sense. So you'll know that you're on the right track when you feel it almost feels like your soul feels satisfied. It's a hard feeling to actually articulate, but you'll just know because your body feels very fulfilled and light when you do that particular task, whatever it is. So I know a lot of teachers get this feeling when their students get a light bulb moment. So when they're teaching a concept in school and their students actually understand what they're saying, like they have a light bulb and they, oh, I get this. And then teachers, in response to that, will feel this rush of excitement because they're able to convey their teachings and they're fulfilling their purpose. So for you, that could be totally different, whatever field that is. But you'll know when you just feel that excitement whenever you do whatever it is you're doing. And then on the flip side, you'll also notice that when you're starting out and you're doing pretty bad in something, whatever it is, you don't beat yourself up over it. You actually feel kind of light. It's almost like a game. You're not as attached to things. So, when I first started doing like a bit of martial arts, I was so bad at it, but even though I was losing and I was, messing up my techniques, I still thought it was really fun. So I continued doing that. For when I first started meditating, I'm sure there's a lot of things I was doing wrong. I didn't understand how to, do my posture, hold my hands, or meditate, and there's a lot of things that were kind of throwing me off center. But even despite all that, I still felt, happy doing my activity. So you want to find out and experiment with different things, and you'll know that when you're on the right track, it feels very light. And even when you're messing up, it's not as painful as doing something you just really don't care about. So if I was doing like some very clerical administrative jobs that I've had in the past, when I was doing really good at it or I was doing really bad at it, I just didn't really care because there wasn't a feeling behind it. So you'll know when you have that. So you want to, again, look over these couple of different qualities to find your purpose. So again, as a recap, the first is to find your natural advantages in life and then double down on your strengths and go for that. The second option is to find your disadvantages and find out where you had worked very hard to overcome that. So you have a context of understanding. And then the third is just try different things out to peel away and find out your deeper purpose. And the last is you'll know the purpose is right for you when it just feels good on a deeper level. So I hope this helps.